Welcome, ladies and gents. This highlight video is again from yesterday, so that's Thursday in court, and this is once again one of Johnny Depp's security guards detailing, and I've left the opening here because he sings Amber Heard's praises to a certain degree. You know, he's like, yes, I know Amber Heard, yes, she's always been polite, cordial, well-mannered, etc. And I think those things are important for context, because these people aren't just coming up here and bashing her, they're going, yeah, my interaction with her has always been good. Then they get asked the details on how Amber Heard and Johnny Depp interacted. So I think it's important to be as objective as possible about it. But then obviously it proceeds into absolute lunacy. This is a story about how this gentleman was on duty for Amber Heard's birthday party. Left that evening after he got off duty. Johnny Depp didn't turn up. Obviously, we know from the other testimonials that he turned up later. So this gentleman turned up the next day, and Amber Heard proudly proclaimed to him that she had thrown Johnny Depp's phone, wallet, passports, credit cards, everything off the balcony. To which this gentleman had to go and pay a homeless person on Skid Row $420, 3 tacos, apples, and Fiji water. You could not write this stuff. It's absolute lunacy. I'm here for it. I think it's amazing, but it just goes to show really how shambolic the entire relationship was and what a joke it was. And this, I am firmly on Johnny Depp's side here. I'm advocating for Johnny Depp and justice here, but it's just absolute lunacy. So again, enjoy the highlight video. Please do hit subscribe. Cheers, guys. Take care.
And could you please state your full name for the record?
Starling Jenkins III.
And what is your occupation?
Executive chauffeur, security.
And how long have you worked as an executive chauffeur and in security?
Executive chauffeur for 30 years, security for 8 years.
Mr. Jenkins, do you know the plaintiff in this case, Johnny Depp?
Yes, I do.
And can you describe generally your interactions with Mr. Depp in the time that you've worked for him?
Pleasant, always upbeat.
Do you know the defendant in this case, Amber Heard?
Yes.
And can you describe generally your interactions with Ms. Heard?
Pleasant, cordial, very respectful.
And so, in your time working with Mr. Depp, did you ever observe Mr. Depp's and Ms. Heard's interactions with one another?
Yes.
And can you describe those interactions generally, please?
Very cordial, very aware that people are around them, very, very friendly.
Did you ever see them argue?
Yes.
Can you describe what you observed about those arguments?
It would be initiated by her. She would try to engage with him. He would tell me to turn the music on.
And so, where did these arguments take place?
In the car.
Do you recall how many times you witnessed them argue?
Twice.
Mr. Jenkins, turning your attention to April 21st, 2016, can you tell the jury what you recall about that day?
Could you repeat the question, sir?
Sure. So, turning your attention to April 21st, 2016, can you tell the jury what you recall about that day?
It was the birthday party being held at the penthouse.
And when you say the penthouse, what are you referring to?
It's the Eastern Columbia building.
And what were you doing that evening?
That evening, I was assigned security on the detail.
Were you inside the residence while the birthday party was taking place?
I was in the CP, the command post that's stationed on the same floor, right outside of the elevators.
And did you interact with Ms. Heard at all that evening?
Yes, I did. In regards to getting her clients keys, parking, making sure no one else was on the floor that wasn't invited to the party.
Were there any issues at the birthday party at the time that you were present at the penthouses?
No issues except for the boss did not show up.
And do you recall what time you left that day?
11:15 p.m. that evening.
And Mr. Jenkins, what happened the next day, April 22nd, 2016?
I arrived early, 10:45. Went upstairs to the penthouse. I was informed by Amber that she got in a fight with Johnny last night. She threw his personal property over the balcony into the streets, 9th and Broadway.
And when you say personal property, what are you referring to?
His phone, wallet, credit cards, passports, everything that's in his wallet.
Did Ms. Heard say anything else to you about this altercation?
Nothing except they were fighting.
So what did you do after Ms. Heard informed you that she had thrown Mr. Depp's personal property off the balcony?
Formulated a plan with Norm from the office to use the Find My Phone app, hit the streets, and try to get lucky.
Did you end up finding Mr. Depp's phone?
Yes, I did. In Skid Row, probably 6 miles from the house.
And who had the phone?
A homeless gentleman, unhoused gentleman. I approached him about the phone. He was honest. He returned it. I gave him a reward for it.
And what was the reward?
$420, chicken tacos, chips, apples, Fiji water.
So after finding Mr. Depp's phone, what did you do?
I returned to the penthouse, showed the phone to Amber that I retrieved it. I left it in the CP for the evening security to return it to Mr. Depp.
So after figuring out things with the phone, what happened next?
What happened next is I walked Amber to the car. We got everybody in the car. She's on her way to Coachella. I went back to the penthouse to retrieve the dogs and the luggage.
Were you also going to Coachella with Miss Heard?
Yes, I was. I was the transportation for Amber and her friends while she was at Coachella.
So how did you get to Coachella?
Drove the SUV provided by Johnny, put the animals and all the luggage in, and headed out.